Hey guys, how's it going? In this video, I want to show you a Shopify store that is now doing about $5 million per month and is actually being valued at $1.4 billion. $1.4 billion is more money than you could ever need. Honestly, $5 million is like enough money to last you a lifetime if you live smartly. So this is really gonna open our minds to what's possible out here, especially since this company is not even that old. Now, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Arie and I've been studying the e-commerce space for about 5 years now. I've been able to experience the power of e-commerce firsthand through multiple six-figure per month businesses that I've made over the years, and I've even had a store go from 0 to over 10K per day in only 10 days. So trust me when I say this, e-commerce is one of the best opportunities out there right now. And I truly mean that. I'm not trying to sell you on anything. I just make these videos to inspire people and honestly inspire myself. So the company is Manscaped, and I don't know if you've heard about them. I've actually purchased products from them before. They've been on Shark Tank and they've had some of the most clever marketing I've ever seen for any Shopify stores. I would have never imagined that this company would be worth over $1 billion in such a quick amount of time. I mean, it really goes to show how crazy the e-commerce world is getting. Companies are getting valuations that are insane. I've even seen companies that are much smaller, for example, not even making any sort of profit, but making like $10 million a year and getting valuations of like $200 million. It doesn't really make much sense, but I only expect this to keep getting crazier because of inflation and people looking to invest in the e-commerce space. But anyways, we're gonna go through the website and then I'm gonna try to dissect it and highlight a lot of things that I find important. And then at the end, we'll sort of wrap it all together and I'll share the lessons that I think are valuable within this. So apparently Manscaped was founded in 2016. So 5 years ago. That's not that crazy, honestly. 5 years is not a very long time. But as you can see, Paul Tran created Manscaped in 2016 with a vision of driving the movement that changes the face of men's grooming. With its bold approach and innovative offerings, Manscaped has successfully untapped a vast market of male consumers. So this is why they've been able to grow so quickly, fairly untapped niche with actually a lot of growing demand. So they were able to just really send it and scale significantly. But I think the reason why they were able to scale so massively and so quickly and be valued at such a crazy valuation, even though, like I said, they're probably doing about $5 to $10 million a month in sales, which is really crazy. I mean, obviously, don't get me wrong, that's an insane amount of money. But a $1.4 billion potential valuation, I just find really crazy. And as you can see, through a tool called SimilarWeb, which actually analyzes websites' traffic, we can see the estimated monthly visits that they're getting. And this one, for example, in July got 4.94 million monthly visits. That's a lot of monthly visits, and usually that equates to about the same in revenue. More often than not, it's actually more revenue than visitors, depending on the average order value of the store and stuff like that. If you don't know what that stuff is, don't worry. You can watch some of my other videos and maybe get a little more educated on the e-commerce terms. But all average order value is like the total dollar amount per order per customer. So the reason why this website actually probably has a really high one is because of this. They bundle so many products together. I mean, for example, here they got the Performance Package 4.0 and it's $120, so that's pretty expensive, and it comes with all of their products basically, and even some boxer briefs, which I didn't even know they had. It's kind of like a vanity thing, but you know, it's kind of dope. I think it's cool that they've added some complimentary products like that. But this is basically what I bought before. It's just like this kit right here minus the boxer briefs, though I wish I would have gotten those, but I didn't. And it was not 99 bucks when I bought it, but obviously I guess now they've improved the product. They've actually seemingly improved it a lot, not just in design, but probably performance. But the clearest thing that I can see is the design. This is totally different from the one I got a while ago. And the product price actually did go up, so now it's 85 bucks. But here's kind of the first lesson that I think is important to learn. So one thing that I've seen with Manscaped is that they have not deviated from their product line like at all. Like for the past 5 years, They've been focused solely on making this product right here just the best that it can be. So I'm not sure if this is, I mean, obviously I'm sure you can achieve fast growth through having a ton of different products as well, like Fashion Nova, for example. Fashion Nova is also a $1 billion brand, and they have a pretty wide variety of products. But I really like this approach because it kind of forces you to make the product better. While on the other hand, when you're just introducing new products all the time and that's how you're growing, I think that model lends itself to having lower quality products that people may not necessarily love. Whereas this, even though the price is much higher than it used to be, I'm assuming the product is also much better quality than it was before. Now, I could be wrong. I haven't really tried it in a long time, but I think that's a safe assumption to make. So that's the first lesson, is just like focusing on one product has a lot of benefits. And then of course, like finding complementary products like these, which are just like some lotions or a nose trimmer, like that makes a lot of sense for a brand like this. That's perfect, because then you can get your happy existing customers buying over and over again. In fact, they actually have a subscription model that they added into their website, which is insane. So for 15 bucks a month, they send you like a bunch of stuff, basically just like a bunch of refills on some of their cleansers and like foot dusters and stuff like that. And one thing I gotta note here is just the way that they've marketed and branded the store. Like you can see it's obviously targeted towards men. They got a guy here being hugged by like a beautiful girl. Like that's kind of the classic marketing tactic, but I bet it works so well because, you know, that's what guys want. So it's appealing to the desire to be just liked by women. It's that simple and primitive, but a lot of people don't think of it like that sometimes. Honestly, that's why it's important to study like marketing and persuasion, as well as obviously like website design and just so many other things. I mean, unfortunately, e-commerce, you do need to learn a lot of different skills, but for that same reason, I find it worth it. I think all of those skills are really gonna pay off in the future. I mean, I truly feel like the skills that we all are learning here together, I mean, I've been in this for like 5 years, so chances are I probably know a lot more than a lot of you, but nevertheless, I'm still learning every day. However, those skills are only continuing to grow in value, just how e-commerce brands are continuing to grow in value. A lot of people who are worth, you know, like 10, $100 million, oftentimes I see that the common advice is to learn skills. Skills pay the bills, and I think there's a lot of wisdom in that. So just as a quick side note, instead of asking, you know, oh, how long does it take to be successful in e-commerce? How long does it take to do this and that? Honestly, don't worry about that. Just let's say for 6 months to a year, just try to learn and apply things every single day and just see where it takes you. I think that will have like the same amount of value probably as like a business college degree. I know that sounds like maybe a crazy comparison to some of you, but I truly feel like that's the landscape we're in right now. Now, the second lesson that I want to sort of highlight here, and it's something that I'm thinking about right now, is that smooth systems scale consistently. So I don't think this brand scaled from like 0 to a billion in like a year. I mean, obviously it's been around for 5 years. That's actually not a long time. But let's say this brand just consistently like doubled their sales month over month or year over year even. That alone would get them to this point fairly smoothly, pun intended, because they're trying to make your private area smoother. But yeah, clearly they have such smooth systems. I mean, they've added these really clean subscription packages. They actually got a pretty wide variety of products now, but they're all complementary. So there's so much upsell potential. And I mean, basically what they've done is like they've focused on, let's say, 6 to 10 products, and then they bundle them together to create even more products. Do you see? But it's not like they're actually making that many new products. It's just they're creating new offers. So that's another lesson here, is testing offers and bundles. You can see how they're doing that here with all these different bundles, which is super cool. And truth be told, these are probably the reasons why they're actually worth over $1 billion. It's because they've created a really smooth brand, and now it kind of seems like plug and play. Like all they need to do is spend a ton of money on ads to reach a ton of people and just continue to improve their experience, the customer experience. And that's the same for every brand at whatever level that you're at. So this is really motivating for me. The longer I stay in the e-commerce space, the more I see the potential of building a $100 million business. I used to say that and think that it was like kind of crazy and like, oh, you know, whatever. But now I truly believe like it's actually possible to do that without even necessarily working harder, because I've actually learned that recently, that in order to get to a point like that, you're not just gonna get there by working harder. You have to literally think differently and think in terms of systems, and honestly trying to work less but make bigger moves, like pull bigger levers that are more important. And that's kind of where I'm at right now, and it's literally the best position for me to be at, because then I can still make videos, connect with an audience, create a ripple effect, and make some sort of difference in this world, which I'm extremely grateful for. So with that said, I hope that you learned something from this video. That's basically all I got. I just wanted to cover these news. I saw that Manscaped is about to go public on the stock market, and that's the valuation that people are expecting. And I just thought that was so crazy and really amazing for us that are actually part of the e-commerce industry. So yeah, these are the lessons I learned. If you got any other lessons that you want to share or any other comments or insights, please let me know in the comments. I would really love to know what you have to say. Lastly, if you want to see a step-by-step sort of series where I'm actually starting a brand from scratch so that you can see sort of what that looks like, I got a whole playlist right here of that. And funny enough, I actually started that with my girlfriend, as you can see, which actually was probably the best move I've ever made. And then I got more case studies as well. If you like this style of videos, I love doing these case studies. I actually learned so much from them, and people learn so much from them too. I think these videos are what gets some of the best feedback on my channel. You can check that out and more in the description. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I really do. And that's basically it. Hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace.